Welcome to Loud Poets. Please clap your hands, stamp your feet, and make some noise for your host and compere, Kevin Mclean.
Hello, and welcome to the Loud Poets Grand Slam Final! It is good to be back at the Edinburgh International Book Festival. Thank you so much for coming along. My name is Kevin Mclean. I will be your host for this afternoon or evening. Depends when you got up, doesn't it, really? As a freelance poet, this is like crack of dawn for me. So, yes, thank you so much for having us. It's wonderful to be back. We were here last year with the Loud Poets Grand Slam Final. We are back for year 2. Hey, give me a little whoop if you have been to a slam before. The slammers, good. We got that covered. Give me a little whoop if you have never been to a slam before. Cool, it's going to be fine. You're going to be okay. I imagine some people have wandered in for a book fest event and why is this man shouting? We're bringing a little bit different vibe. It is lovely bringing a bit of spoken word to the EIBF. We've been kind of working the last few years with the Book Fest. They've been very gracious welcoming us in, letting these odd spoken word poets invade their stage. We're very thankful for it. If you've never been to a slam, I will break down how it's going to work. So what is a slam? Well, a slam is competitive poetry, which is a lot of fun, but kind of stupid. The idea of judging poetry is a bit of an odd one, but it does lure in audiences. So thank you for falling for the trick. We appreciate it. But it is, what we've been doing is all this year, we have been all over Scotland. We've been working with festivals like Paisley Book Festival, Dumfries and Galloway Arts Festival, Stanza International Arts Festival. We'll be working with Aberdeen Performing Arts. We've also been up in Inverness, and we ran our own heat here at the Scottish Storytelling Centre, our regular home in Edinburgh. So we had 6 heats all over the country, and we have a winner and a runner-up of each heat, and they are all here, all 12 poets here today to compete to crown the Grand Slam champion. Whoa. So the way it'll work is we have 3 rounds. We kick off with 12 poets in the first round, and then in the second round, that'll be whittled down to 6 poets, and then the final round will be the final 3 poets who will compete for the prize. What is the prize? I hear you mumble to yourselves quietly and respectfully because you're at the Book Fest. Well, the prize is £3,000! Which, in this economy, in poetry in general, madness. We're very excited. There aren't a lot of big spoken word prizes. There are a lot of amazing literary prizes, and we are very thankful to the literary organisations that are ever more increasingly involving spoken word and giving avenues for video submissions and things like that. But we wanted a prize for performance, for getting up on a stage and reading your work, and that is what this is. So yes, they win $3,000, but $3,000 is nothing. That's not the true prize. And no, it's not the respect of your peers or the admiration of an audience. No. The real prize is the Loud Poets Grand Slam Championship belt. No, this whole slam series isn't an elaborate ruse so I can own a wrestling belt. No, that would be crazy. Yes, our winner will get to hold aloft the Grand Slam Championship belt. It will be their prize for a year. We're very excited for that. It is widely accepted amongst the poets that that's the thing they're most excited about. So yes, but how will we decide who the Grand Slam champion is? Who moves from round 1 to round 2 into round 3, and who holds aloft the belt? Well, thankfully, that is not my job. I am here to scream names into a microphone and little else. No, we have 3 exemplary judges who are more than qualified to make those kind of decisions. So our first judge, I want you to give a big round of applause to one of our team at I Am Loud, our spoken word production company, one of the regular Loud poets, the PhD herself, the doctors in the house. Go wild for Katie Ailes! She paid a lot of money for that PhD. I'm going to mention it every fucking time. That's the way it goes. We also are so excited to be joined by a pillar of the literary scene, especially here in Edinburgh. The director of Push the Boat Out, one of our favourite festivals in the city, anywhere in general. They do a huge, wonderful job showcasing poetry in Edinburgh. Please put your hands together and make some noise for Emma Collins. as someone else who curates events, I think it's just nice being at someone else's event where you don't have responsibilities other than judging the poets you see. It's lovely, yeah. So Emma's going to fit right in. And our third and final judge, who is better qualified to judge what it takes to win the Grand Slam final than last year's winner? That is right. Returning, we have the spectacular Rosie Jo Hunter! The last year's slam was incredibly competitive. I have no question that this year's is going to be just as so. But Rosie was an absolutely exemplary winner, and she's done amazing stuff this year with that prize, putting out her own show. She's doing a show during the Fringe, the Stupid Sexy Poem Show, which you should absolutely go and check out. And don't worry, I'll be plugging it again. So yes, go and check out Rosie's work. And Rosie will also be fulfilling a key role in the slam, because it's very difficult to be the first person up to the mic. I'm sure you guys are going to be a lovely audience the whole way through. I'm sure you're going to make all the noise in the world for our poets. But it can be a bit scary being the first up. Maybe you're in a cold room. Maybe it's, not quite there yet. So Rosie is going to bite that bullet and be our sacrificial poet for this afternoon. So she is going to kind of come up and warm up the mic, which is going to be a real treat for you guys. So what I'm going to do is ignore you guys for a second, because as much as I'm pleased you're here, the slammers are looking at me with those kind of wide, terrified, trapped in the headlight eyes. And I read the running order to them earlier, but they have deleted that information already, I am sure. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run down the order of the first round. This is the order everyone will be reading in. And what I'll do is during the show, I'll be saying who's up and who's on deck. You guys have all done the heats before. You know what that means. It's going to be fine. I've done a lot of these heats, guys. Been all over this country this year. Did it all last year. And I'm going to ask you to do one clap at the end of the list of names. I believe in you, Bookfest. First, I will become the villain of this show quickly. So we have Aditya, Akshay, Nick Bagshaw, C.D. Boyland, Emma Claire Brightland, India De Bono, James Hickson, Spencer Mason, Donna Matthew, Noor, Heather Rose, and Shane Strachan. And his heart swelled 2 sizes that day. Well done. Did I not mention a poet? Did I mention a poet who is not here? Harder to identify. Okay, we're gonna go with that and see how it goes. Guys, that is how the slam works. That is what the prize is for. That's who the judges are, who the poets you're gonna see competing. All of that is what they need to know. All you guys need to know is you are in for an absolute treat of an afternoon of poetry. Your singular job is to give all the love and support you can to all the poets. Poetry is a scary thing to do at the best of times. And in a slam, when it's competitive, when you're being judged, when you're in a big, beautiful room like this, it can be extra scary. So I want you guys to concentrate on making every poet feel welcome, feel loved, and given all the good feedback. Are you up for that? Yeah! It's loud fucking poets, guys. Are you up for that? Yeah! Well, then let's waste no more time. Let's get our sacrificial poet on the stage. She is one of my absolute favorite poets to see work. She has been a highlight of this year, a well-deserved champion. It's her last time being introduced as the Loud Poets Grand Slam champion. Put your hands together. Make some noise for RJ Hunter!
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much. Hi, my name is Rosie Jo Hunter. You can call me RJ. My pronouns are they, she, as in they have a new name and pronouns, but she's still the same fucking champion. Yeah! For another hour and 45 minutes. I just want to say it's such an honor to be back here. This changed my life, and genuinely every single other finalist last year said it changed their life as well. And we've found such a community from doing this final together. So whatever happens, You're going to have the best time, and it's going to be an incredible show, and you're all going to do amazingly. But enough about them. It's time for Rosie Joe, baby. You already know, baby. You're already shocked by this elegant flow, baby. You're probably thinking, whoa, baby, I want that bitch to be my beau, baby. And yeah, that might be so, baby. So take me out to dinner and buy me a bottle of Pinot, baby. I'm talking 3 courses finished with Black Forest Gâteau, baby. Then take me back to your place. We can take it real slow, baby. Or you just tie me up like you're bad little hoe, baby. Of course you want to fuck the love child of Plath and Poe, baby. I could do this shit with hands tied, eyes closed, baby. Okay, that last rhyme was so, baby. See? I'm a modest genius. I take it blow by blow, baby. When I start spitting these words, you fuckers fall like dominoes, baby. I run this business. Call me the CEO, baby. Now I know what you're thinking. Hey, Rosie Joe, maybe you're acting a little, I don't know, crazy? And to that I say, ha, no, baby. Because a bitch is medicated. I'm on Lexapro, baby. I've only got friends. This freak ain't got no foes, baby. Me and my crew be like Dipsy Lala, Tinky Winky Poe, baby. My poems be so thematically different, you be whipping to and fro, baby. One about dysphoria, one about dick jokes, one about the Willy Wonka experience for show, baby. What's that? It's the unknown, baby. I do it all, energized like espresso, baby. Do a little dance, sing a little song, falsetto, baby. And with every move I make, better believe I grow, baby. With every move I make, better believe I glow, baby. With every move I make, better believe it's in my bones, baby. Looking like a cutie while I cut 'em up, eyes like a dough, baby. Fast words when I'm freestyling, like my feet dance flamenco, baby. Oh shit, how does she do it? You say, I don't know, baby. Got these tense, silent, need a piss, better tiptoe, baby. Rapturous applause like this place about to implode, baby. Get these cunts clicking while I make their fathers moan, baby. I hope you can tell this is a joke from my playful tone, baby. Race car. That's a palindrome, baby. You already know, baby. You're already shot by this elegant flow, baby. That's it for Rosie Joe, baby. Make some noise for your finalists. Let's go, baby.
RJ Hunter, everybody. That is the absolute correct response for the fucking champ. A lot of people who have not been to a slam before are like, the book fest got different. Guys, it is going to be wonderful. You're going to get a bit of everything. It's my favorite thing about slams. You get the ups, you get the downs, you get the whole broad spectrum of poetry, a bunch of different styles, a bunch of different voices. You're going to have an amazing time. Are you ready for the first round? On deck, we have Akshay, but kicking us off, please go absolutely wild for Aditya!
The first time I said my name on this land was a response to someone else butchering it. Aditya, I told the customs officer. It means the sun, and you're looking at it. His face contorted like I'd promised him a crossword and delivered a Sudoku. 6 sounds, 6 slots, but with no clues to help him match. And that's when I knew my name is a 2-person sport. Losing syllables like dust every time it hits the chord. I watch you meet me, curiously greet me. Take a half-hearted stab, then half-heartedly laugh as those final few letters defeat me. The letters that stand for the land that raised me have erased me. Not entirely, though. I've settled for a shorter name, and quietly so. Helps you utter my name better, helps you hire me more. But even though it's a smaller sound, it tires me more to say it. That's what happens when you apply an algorithm to the best rhythm you know. Be mutable to be suitable. Shrink until they get comfortable. My name spills from your ear to the base of your mouth like coffee. Too crowded for where it was, too hot for where it went, so I've bent it to a shape your tongue can make, shaved letters off the end, gave it a softer state. The rest is reserved for the walls of my mind, for tongues that can twist, for mouths with a spine. My name is a study in approximation, a cheap carbon copy of a pale imitation. Now I don't mind approximations. Like Scottish summers approximating into June, like my body approximating your tunes, but failing to hit the mark is different from aiming at the ceiling. It's not about getting it wrong, it's about having no intent of succeeding. My name is a two-person sport, and I play it in every meeting, every job interview, and every off-handed greeting, conceding every slip, every careless misreading. But my name is a song that I'm tired of repeating in office spaces and less formal places, indeed what you and I might call the normal places. In all such cases, my name disgraces, it self-effaces, embraces your laughs and the sounds that come out of your lungs. And I don't know how to make the latitudes of your tongue intersect with the longitudes of my sun, so I will say this. If you don't want to aim for my name, aim high. Throw your knife to the ceiling, to the sky, to the gods, then stand underneath it, slack-jawed. Let it drop to your mouth. Mow your tongue in two. That's one way to make my name easier for you. Aditya, I told the customs officer, no, I'm not carrying any weapons. Thank you.
On deck, we have Nick Bagshaw, but please keep that applause building as we welcome Akshay!
If I had a penny for every time I almost drowned, I'd have 2 pennies, which is barely strange because I rarely learn from my mistakes. But the price for almost dying twice is the realization that when life and death are at stake, nothing matters more than holding on. So you see, that's why I have been collecting, shelving trinkets of memory to take to my grave, the smell of aftershave, the swell of the sea, the feeling of a cold glass of water on the days that you have felt the heat of the living. When I die, I am holding on to everything. So listen. I'm taking all the music, all the tears. I'm taking all the laughter too. Try stopping me. I broke a lot of things that did not deserve to be broken, and I am taking the forgiveness with me. When I go, I am taking the family grief too. I am setting them free. I am holding on to the profound personal sorrows that we all carry. I am holding on to the men I have kissed and the women I've loved and the loneliness that they left as concrete as the words have given shape to. That's why when I die, I am taking all my failed poems too. I want the pieces of me that I've carelessly ripped out and rationed to strangers to be returned to me so that I may sweep those shattered pieces of myself into my arms like seeds, as if my chest were both tilth and graveyard. I am holding on to all of me when I die, because the price of almost dying twice is the realization that when life and death are at stake, nothing matters more than holding on. Because you see, the first time I almost drowned, my grandfather refused to let me go. He plucked me back from the sea. The second time I almost drowned, my lover held on to me as I held on to her, like we were the last beings left on this earth. And someday I will hold on and cry into her arms so much that I will become whole again, because nothing makes you whole like weeping against the warmth of something you've grown to love. So when the time comes, I'll be ready. If I'm hung upside down, or if I find the sweet sleep of a grave, if God forbid I drown, or a funeral pyre is what my carcass craves. Because let's be honest for a second, my mother, God bless her soul, would want to have my body burned so that I may find my way to heaven. And you have to respect a woman of faith. For her sake, I will let the flames lick me clean and feel the heat of the living a last time. I will go barehanded in the smoke and nothingness. But in the off chance that I am wrong and my mother is right, in the off chance that somebody does wait for me on the other side, I will hand them these pieces of me that I've collected like trophies, like spoils of victory, in only the hope that they greet me with a cold glass of water.
On deck, we have CD Boylan, but making their way to the stage, go wild for Nick Bagshaw!
I want to draw you, he says. I can make you look beautiful. Oh, thanks. So I look shit generally, is that it? After artistic appraisal, I require reinterpretation for any approximation of aesthetics. No, don't be offended. You look fine, you look great. But with my charcoal, I can help you. I can elevate. But to commit me to canvas or the page, I have to be improved. The reality of me is not inspiring to you. I'm not much of a muse. That's the crux, the rub. This old boyfriend's a fixer-up, an investment to flip when the market jumps, a foster fuck. Shelter while you're all alone until you're ready for your forever home. Well, I know my market value. Trading sexual capital for mixed securities. I make more in a week of whoring than you have in decades trying to sell your shitty paintings. You're like Danny Minogue, he says. Always coming second to a hotter sister, and he's not wrong with that one. This body has yo-yoed until the skin broke and snapped. Like elastic bands, overstretched red cracks in this monument to the fact it's safer to stay 2/3 at least of the no fats, no femmes, no blacks trifecta, because they won't target you when you look like that. I see doe eyes honoring me with the chance to be immortalized. Like this is it. Everything I wanted. For the record, I have my own art to spend eternity inside and my own endeavors to give meaning to my life. I begin to wonder if the scene from Titanic should have gone a little bit like this. I want you to draw me like one of your French girls, which is to say disproportionately because you're bad at perspective. In this industry, love's on every corner, and I don't need your rebrand. Danny Minogue's a fucking superstar, and second best is still too good for you.
On deck, we have Emma Claire Brightland, but coming to the stage right now, keep that applause going as we welcome CD Boylan! It's coming home, it's coming home, it's coming, hatred's coming home. It's coming home, it's coming home, it's coming, hatred's coming home. In the distance, we hear the sirens police with riot shields arriving to relieve communities besieged inside their homes. When the only light in England's night is a library on fire, we know hatred's coming home. Led by the hate mob's cosplay Führer from beside his pool in Ayia Napa, a self-inflated sex doll bigot whose real name is Laxty Yennon, deluding fools to use as campaign tools and training fodder for AI rules, the far-right's fairy Yob father, taking back our country, one fucking lush bath bomb at a time. Pissing fake news, disinformation into a Weatherspoon's pint glass. Hatred's coming home. To our bloodstained carpet welcome rolled out by Reform UK. All-you-can-eat tax break buffets served up to the rich elite. Date-stamped, shrink-wrapped and vacuum-packed in a plastic Union Jack. Best before date, 1984. Hatred eats it up with spoon and fork. Says, please, sir, can I have some more? Hatred dreams in YouTube clips, adverts for Liz Truss' own brand fleshlights, and xenophobic edgelord quips bred from 1,000 Russian bot sites. We're taking back our country. One Greg's gingerbread man at a fucking time. Spraying fascist comments over Twitter, tattoos of Spitfires and swastikas dead below the waist. Hatred's coming home. Inspired by far-right media lies and the daily shame of victim-blaming dog whistle GB News headlines, rubber-stamped racist goon agendas goose-step in print across the pages of all the right-wing daily papers. Another blazer-wearing effigy face like a half-chewed pepper army spewing up on national TV to achieve the armchair keyboard army and their legitimate concerns. Hatred doesn't live around here, but still it thinks it's coming home. Hatred thinks it knows the score. 1 World Cup and 2 world wars hasn't counted on the force of peaceful counter-protest.
Communities retaking streets, allies marching cheek to cheek, banners held aloft to cheers. Fascism's not welcome here. So say it loud, say it clear. Immigrants are welcome here. Say it loud and say it clear. All creeds and colours are welcome here. Say it loud and say it clear. Refugees are welcome here. And let's keep hatred from our home.
We have India on deck, but making their way to the stage now. Go wild for Emma Claire Brightly!
One-handed, one-hipped, still I must. Pot, stove, gas, spark, hands in face, neck, chest, just like how they found my specs, though I left them up high. Just like how they found the laundry pile washed and now dry. Just like how they found your nappy and went in there. God, why? Sigh, lob of butter in the pot. Now slip you down for just a minute. Only a minute. Please, could you give me one whole minute? But you're under my feet, tugging at my legs. A chorus of up, up, up tears my patience to threads. And after a morning of suggesting another, and gently redirecting, and offering an alternative, and giving a distraction, and saying let's not, and saying no thank you, and saying please no, and saying not that, and saying please stop, and could you stop, and stop that, I say stop! Sharply. So I can crack an egg. So I can give you some lunch. So I can put you to sleep. So I can clean up your mess, so I can reset the day, so I can wake you up, so you'll sleep tonight, so you're under my feet, and I grab that egg, tap, split, pour. Oh shit, there's shell. Stop tugging, stop dragging, stop plugging, stop nagging. My hands are yuck, your hands are yuck, the bin is yuck, your bum is yuck. Don't touch, get the shell. No, yuck, get the shell. Please stop, get the shell. I'm right here, get the shell. And I grab the pot by the wiggly handle I keep forgetting to fix. And I swing the whole thing over my head and smash it against the bricks, screaming at it to fuck right off. Except I don't. I don't. I wash my hands. I scoop you up. I show you again how scrambled eggs work. And you say, eggy eggs, or something close, and give me a gentle hand stroke on my nose, and start to sing, munchy, munch, munch. Forgive me, I'm sorry, it's my fault. But today there is shell in your lunch.
We have James Hickson on deck, but please put your hands together, make some noise, and welcome to the stage, India de
Just a light content warning for some homophobia. Do I want to kiss you because it's you? Or do I just want to be kissed? Do I even like you like that? Or do I just miss feeling like this? Every time your hand brushes my waist, my heart hitches in my throat. And I remember what it was like to trace the eyelash that fell upon your face. And sometimes I get overwhelmed with this desire to lace your fingers through mine, to feel your breath upon my skin while I hug you from behind. And my head is nestled into the crook of your neck, and I peck your collarbone until you dissolve into a fit of giggles because you're too ticklish to accept. I don't know if you are or not. That's just the story I've constructed in my head. It's the wish that fits a narrative I've adjusted in your stead. I don't know you well enough to know what it is you do. And to be frank, I don't know if we like each other enough like that to make the scenario come true. But I'm a storyteller, and lying is what I do. And a slam is coming up, so a new poem's due, and you do spark something in me that I've not felt in years, so let's stoke the flames, fan the fire, milk the imagining until it all disappears, and so I imagine. I fabricate and fashion my pre-cut cloth into patterns of passion, fantasizing about taking on a date to a museum, the aquarium, or a zoo, because I want to feel like a kid again, and my childhood was partially lost to a demon I never knew I had. I want to eat those silly little cardboard box lunches. I want to be able to buy each other plushes of our favourite animals and Here is where I falter again, because I don't know yours, and I couldn't just, ask. Because we're adults, and apparently it's unacceptable to know your friend's favourite animal or dinosaur. Mine's an iguanodon, by the way. But equally unacceptable is the fact that we're both girls. And if there's anything I've learned in my time on this world is that I have to hide and suppress. And yes, there still is a feeling of pride, but it's always tied to the denial of my emotions. You call it leftover Catholic guilt. Even though both of us have complicated feelings when it comes to gender that neither of us had the time or energy to reflect upon further, and so that title Girls, one that's very charged, but equally it's a time I don't quite feel ready to discard, but that's not the point. The point is I don't know your favourite colour. Even though I could spend another poem describing the colour of your eyes and the way they draw me into conversation, I've always felt slightly uncomfortable with prolonged eye contact, but with you, it's easy in a way that I don't know if it's meant to be taken as flirtation. It's coming up to the anniversary of yet another failed relationship. So maybe I'm just using this as a proxy to remind myself that any new feeling shouldn't be a guilt trip. Am I overcorrecting, course deflecting, constructing an alternative you to use as a shield to convince myself that I am healed, all while not talking to the real you and getting to know you any better? Is the person I want to kiss the true you? Or have I not yet met her? Thank you.
Guys, we have reached the halfway point. Is everyone doing okay? Well, we have Spencer on deck, but please put your hands together and welcome now James Hexam!
Because I write. The principle of specificity is a terminology used within the context of improving physical activity. But I'm going to demonstrate how it applies to the brain and creativity. Bear with me. I express myself through writing. I practice editing to improve the delivery and timing. The feeling for a beat materialised as I tried to enhance my rhyming, but rhyme only came into my life as a suggested memory exercise from the head injury charity Headway. Back then, I had a brain full of lead weight, full, heavy and dense, yet in a perpetual state. Impossible to accelerate, impossible to decelerate. There wasn't a pedal to go, there wasn't a brake. I didn't have handlebars or a steering wheel. I felt I was losing control, but life looked balanced and on an even keel. 20 years have passed since I first thought my brain was falling apart. Now I've got less than 2 minutes in which to condense all of this. Sean, he was my brother-in-law. He'd been in my life since I was age 9. The accident happened when I was 24. Sean was only 31 when he died on impact, sitting on the seat next to me. April 28th, 2003. I never told Sean how thankful I was to have him in my life, how grateful I was for his time. I never told him I loved him. I never thanked him for hugging me when I cried. You see, tragedy is an incapacitating disease like grief, and they affect everybody differently. Tragedy pummeled me. Its characteristics were physically disabling and mentally intoxicating. I took to self-medicating because the noise insisted my life deserved suffocating, and depression hides in waiting. It's tried dragging me away, but writing has unpicked knots of shame. So the last time that sickness crept from the shadows, its bind unravelled, and I was saved. Thank you, Auntie Tina and Dr. Tom. Writing helped me open up to you, but I was saved by the both of you. Creativity has changed me. I've applied the principle of specificity. Writing trains the cognitive qualities necessary for me to be present and sober since 2016. So I no longer drink away the pain. I no longer eat concoctions of pills to hide away the pain. I no longer chop lines to wear a disguise around the pain. I no longer smoke to sleep through the pain. I no longer hate myself for feeling the pain. I no longer look away. I can sit with the pain. My brain has changed because I write. Thank you.
On deck, we have Donna Matthew, but making their way to the stage. Make some noise and welcome Spencer Mason!
Mine's is a smile like the screech needing unplugged before the microphone is even switched on. The gravelled fraction of a voice unstayed, no matter the mortar nor metre of the walls. A patchwork scrapbook of Frankensteinian childhoods, my forearm telling of more lives than many bipeds have lived, and dawned in the grin of someone who expects to not be accepted. Skin surfaced as the moon, each callous and wart a shining miracle from across the sticks. Yes, I am the roaring laugh that cozies vertebra against the lane line on the post-pub trudge, words smudge like a sucker punch filled with truth, and eyes that drip with every type of silence, but none like the hush and moan of kissing your words back to your lungs. Yes, silence and witness this. I'm the only one of my friends that can park a bus upon my face. With my aircraft carrier nose that guides Iris like homing missiles, compliments on cruise control, or witness as my helipad for hecklers makes harassments bounce harmlessly asunder. These hoodlums brushing their teeth with the pavement as they realise that I am the only person they know that can use their nose as a dildo. Yes, the only one to make with mere glance your girlfriend gasp orgasm. I am the stereotype hoodwinker who sucks sonnets and stanza through a spliff as skimpy as I. Scribbling songs on a snap G-string and harmonic chord progressions over her body. I am the only one you know who can take their diagnoses one step forward and be called fucking tripolar. I, the gluttonous goblin who gobbles every garnish, gallivanting all gallus round gaffs in Gucci garments and a half-smoked wrap. Oh, I know I am cool without it being a fetishization of rudeness. As my helm protrudes my face with these two polymorphic abyss where fresh air comes to die. Each tiny turn of my head gracelessly blocking out the sun or interrupting another kiss. I am the one on whose face you will miss to sit. I am the only person you know whose nose can bring sexual bliss.
Mason! We have Noor on deck, but please help me welcome to the stage now the spectacular Donna Matthew!
The dice ebbed towards the horizon, flowed back the same conclusion for the umpteenth time. But society has got a lot to say about women of a certain age with birth scars and stretch marks. So I stayed, kept holding space to fill with laundry and circular thoughts, settled for the elation of a clean home on chores day, until I remembered I wanted to rip my face off and run away. And so it began with thoughts of life rafts bent double in the dappled sunlight of the garden, holding a voice, saying what it was going to take away. After months of pounding the same streets, carrying 2 stone of baby weight 4 years after that 4 a.m. cesarean. How can life's domestic treadmill shape flesh so unwell? Each dawn realization of no sleep, breakfast is a curt, quick indignation, personal space, a negotiation, identity nothing but work, life, stress, marital bliss, an existence at best as I held in every breath, because I don't love my husband anymore. There, I said it. But my sun rises on glimpses of joy, a swim to the distant boy to press my nose against the crown of his head, ingest just enough love for the next stretch, for I am his safety. Created it this way deep in my waters, and his heart is tethered to me. But life felt small. And the ordinary had no wonder, and I had no voice unless in relation to another, so I threw out my words like jetsam. The words that held the most pain, that shouted screech, tire, rage in my safest space, like those days when I reached out for him to hold me and he couldn't even touch my shoulder.
And so it was done, and summer had just begun, and I was grounded in inky black, but bleached to bones, no sun-kissed skin, no tender caress, just mountains of living to make sense of. I salvaged debris in currents stretching back decades, reaching down lungs for a transformation only a reckoning could enact. A sudden sensory salutation, and then a momentary silence in the eye of the elements before my fight to write the ordinary extraordinary again. So I braced, grabbed hold of pen and dear heart as atmospheres kicked my diaphragm line by line. Every bend and sweep of nib pulled tight, salt wounds. I moved slowly around nouns I learned I could not steer. My purpose, verbs. A siren call to action between glottal stops and weighted synonyms, some pushing, others pulling, until all I could hear was the rage of my own fire, scorching oil, slicked ocean, until I surfaced, rebirthed, filled my chest, and spoke my poetry. Thank you.
On deck we have Heather Rose, but please help me welcome to the stage right now. Make some noise for New!
Not that short. Hello. I had to quit my job recently. Because, see, I'm worried that my boss has racist tendencies. See, he would talk about his ancestral greed with these proud eyes of glee. So when Mr. Smith will come say to me, "No, you want a cup of tea or coffee?" I had to hold in my feelings of defeat. I wondered if those before me were tutting their teeth, because, see, I'm letting this man offer me the tea or the beans for which they had to bleed. Look, it's a simple thing you may think, a cup of tea or coffee, but see, for me, it's that to remind me of what was taken from those before me, of how Britain became home to me. So I look down at my cup of tea, and as I stir in the tea leaves, the colour becomes more like me, and I can't help but see the blood of my ancestors before me. See, Britain isn't home to me. And it doesn't matter if I want it to be, because see, down these streets they sell Indian tea and Arabic coffee, but they tell me that this isn't home to me. But see, this is the only home that I've ever known, because my home was taken from us, and our ancestry is so battered and bruised. Tracing back history, it's like forcing open old wounds. Look, our parents don't even share our history because of what they had compared to what we have. Look, mum and dad don't even own land because they sold the land that their ancestors had to come and build a life in this united motherland. Look, everyone fell for your scam of safety in this motherland, and now we're all holding out our hands, asking for our own stuff back. Look, no one wants to write about how the English were thieving crooks. They seem to have left that shit out of our history books. See, they told us the sun never sets on the great British Empire, but they failed to tell us it was because of their selfish desires to take what wasn't for sale. See, they sailed to make sure that our empires failed, and they came to teach divide and rule. They just wanted to watch the Raj fall. They drew lines on our maps with our blood on their swords. History, carved by old men who knew that they wouldn't live to see the tyranny unfold, but look, I lived to see the truth told. When they drew the borders, it was with swords so coarse, it changed the whole course of my history. Your swords divided our lands through blood and through tyranny. And now we're forced to live in your homes that we have no rights to own based on colour and class. Look, how long can this last? Before we're all gone, back to the real motherlands, leaving these men unseasoned and bland, leaving the NHS without a plan. Thank you very much.
On deck we have Shane Strachan, but please help me welcome our penultimate poet in the first round, Heather Rose!
Dear Heather, I'm 12. I grow a heavy secret. I know you're me, so you'll know it too, but will you promise that you'll keep it? I've not inked this to reality yet, so this is a paper reality check, though really my tininess lacks the breath to breathe this seed to you. It burns a glowing hue of dread, spread on here in infrared, an all-consuming weight. I'll write it in parenthesis, minimize the emphasis, as if I spoke, I whispered it, I don't think that I'm straight. Dear Heather, I'm 15 and gay out to the world. My timid printed handwriting is now big, bold, and swirls across the page, light, no labels, and my blossoms taken root. I will stay placed in sunshine, never again to be diluted. This is my entire personality. Petals for everyone to see. I feel like everyone can see. Through my skin into my heart, I play no part impersonating, just feel I've been germinating with wrong compost concentrations. And I cannot tell which labels are appropriate fits. If I simply cease my flowering, then I can never wilt. I propagate empowering, and now I walk stock stilts. And these strides are tree stump strength, though up here the rain leaves petals drenched. This pedestal I did not select. I'm the first queer girl they've ever met. They buzz spaghetti straight till wet. Join my partner and I, three said to be best. These bees see me, their flower experiment. How did I get here? How do I get there? Unburied from the soil and decaying wormy toil, coiled in daisy chain cuffs, prisoner not amidst the shrubs, but a visitor. What if I can't ever be her? I still don't know who she's meant to be. Fueled just by queer energy or silent sunshine reverie, shielded underground. I will not yield to thunder clouds. This was all needed to get where we are now. Dear Heather, I'm 20, still queer, budding bright, though it's a blossom now that needs less for us to write about and more we can just smile about. We've repressed, bottled in, then expressed everything in this journal scribbling. I know I would not change a thing. I know I should not change a thing. I know I cannot change a thing. And that beautiful flowers should not be hidden. And it's all that we are when what we are is still unwritten. So I am writing. Still enticing equilibrium, but this journey's one that's not as simple as a blossom. Though it feels like you sprouted from a sapling to a colossal plant, you can't bloom a linear path. I'm taking the room you should have had, dear Heather. I'm proud to soon have petals. I'll take their growth with calmness. Dear Heather, this intensity I won't forget, though I serenely await that balance. Dear Heather, I'm not sure where we next go, but it's together. That's a promise.
Heather Rose, everybody! Extra points for putting the mic back. Well done. Guys, we have one final poet in the first round. Please put your hands together and go wild for Shane Strachan!
Hi, Abdi. I am going to perform a poem which is part of a series of poems about Aberdeen's messed up, fucked up relationship with oil and gas. It's bad romance. And it's a series of voicemail messages across time. From love at first sight back in 1969 up to our present day attempts to brack up and turn green. And it's all voiced through the perspective of oil speaking to the city. And the poem is called Dreepin'. You have one new message. Message received 14th of September, 1969. Hello, sexy. It's me, your North Sea sugar daddy. Wheat, sweet and fiery, God's gift to modernity. Ain't you wined and dined her? Just leave your wife behind. Flee to your man-made island and dive in deep beneath. Get yourself siping wheat, seeping. Pump them pipelines, dreeping. Mind that time back in 69? Ooh, it was love at first sight when you drilled me down at the bottom of the deep blue sea. Unleash this genie's tie-dye rainbow slick with thick viscous liquid. In me, you watch me undress, witness time decompress, heated, treated, refined. Oh yes. Now I'm here, dinna stress. Just give your whip a crack, sit back and relax and let this wheat dream licht up Aberdeen like a deus ex machina, a god for the machine, saving the granite city for another tragic scene. But mine and had your wished about them little spills and leaks. It's really best we keep that between you and me. If you want me to I be your fossil fantasy.
Shane Strachan, everybody! Remember when I said at the top, you get a bit of everything at a poetry slam? I think this first round might have proved that pretty well. Hey guys, that is the first round of the Loud Poets Grand Slam final. Can we get a huge round of applause for all of our poets? I say it through all of our slams, and I reiterate it to the poets at the top of the thing. With slams, you could run that exact same slam again and you will get a different result. It is so hard, especially when you have literally found the best of the best and brought them to this sort of Grand Slam final. You're talking, a hair between them. It is a horrible task to try and whittle this down to 6 poets for the second round. This is why I host and don't judge. Fuck that. Our judges are kind of totting up the scores. We're going to do a bit of math. So while we do that, because there's the 12 poets, so it takes a bit longer than the other rounds, we're going to take a little break. It's going to be a real quick break because we want to get back and have all the time for the second round. So it's going to be a hard 15 minutes, guys. So if you got to do something, you got to go take a bathroom break, grab a drink, do it. We'll be kicking off in 15 minutes. Be here, all right? We'll see you in the second half.
Welcome back to the second half of Loud Poets. Please clap your hands, stamp your feet, and make some noise for your host and compere, Kevin Mclean.
Hello. Welcome back to the second half of the Loud Poets Grand Slam final. Did everyone get a beverage? Nothing makes poetry better than a beverage. Guys, welcome back to the second half. Thank you so much for coming back. That probably means the first half went pretty well. Good, nice confirmation. Hey, guys, I just want to say before we get into the scores, I know the poets are like, just read out the fucking poets. But before I do just want to reiterate, like I was speaking to Katie, who was doing the scores, it is like fractions of points between people, like especially after all the heats. We've been so amazed all over the country, and the heats have been so competitive. It's crazy. And so when you take the 2 top from all of those heats and put them together, it's just so tight, the margins. So like if you do not make it into the top 6, please do not be disheartened. It is not a reflection of your skill. It is the horrors of poetry slamming. If you ran it again, it would be a different result. And like when we looked at like even last year's scores, the difference between being like 12th and being 6th was like a couple points, which is just heartbreaking. But that's the fucking game. But please do not be disheartened. I think everyone will agree that was a hell of a first round, right? Crazy. So I am going to read out the poets' names in the order that they will be reading. And we will do 1 clap at the end. The poets shouldn't misbehave. Okay. So, your 6 finalists moving into the second round are Shane Strachan. What did I just say? The look of shame made me feel bad. Shane Strachan, Heather Rose, Donna Matthew, Spencer Mason, Emma Claire Brightlin, and Aditya. Those are your 6 poets, though that is the order they will be reading in. But like I said, what a first round. Genuinely spectacular. Can we just get 1 round of applause for all of our poets from the first round? To give our poets a second to deal with the fact that they're into the second round. Imagine I was just like, get up, Shane. That'd be a bit harsh. So what we thought we would do is, one more time, have our beautiful Sacrificial back up to the stage. Please put your hands together, make some noise for the champ for now. Go wild for RJ Hunter!
I've never had so much fun and so little fun in all of my life. As a poetry fan, I'm elated. As everything else, I'm absolutely devastated. Yeah, I have a show. It's called Stupid Sexy Poem Show. For anyone that's wondering what I did with winning last year, it's on in the Fringe this year. We are on tonight. I'm very tired. We're on at 8:45 at the Scottish Storytelling Centre, and also Monday the 19th at the same time, same place. It would be lovely to see you there. You can also scan that little QR code because I'm not allowed to flyer. But I've did a stupid poem to start with, so I feel like we should do a sexy poem. How do we feel about that? Feel good? Yeah, good. Consent is important, as you'll find out. But this poem does feature a discussion of sex, hookup culture, kinks, consent, and lack thereof. And if there are any in the room, is dedicated to my fellow kinky queer bitches who also like to be the little spoon. The poets didn't need to say anything. You know the drill with these things. Tinder, Grindr, Bumble, Bam, Match, playful banter, a bus to yours and the buzzer sings. Like the bell sounding rounds in a wrestling ring, and they kiss you. Before you can even blink, you giggle, say hello, offer a drink, they say no, so you just sink into each other, smothered, but not in a claustrophobic way. You sweat, squirm, assume new shapes like aerobics, but gay. And before you know it, it's over and they bid you good day and you are left again. Once more, you've lost something that never belonged to you, but you are still bereft again. And I don't ask for a lot. It takes a soft word and a gentle touch before feelings are caught. But God, give me something more than the literal. Pump me poetically. You know, dark and urgent, yet tender and lyrical. I want you to give me an ounce of you, because right now I'm giving you all that I am. I'm giving you it to the point that I won't be able to stand. It's early in the afternoon for a sodomy joke, I get it. I am giving you everything because then there is nothing left for you to take. If I give you my body to bruise, brand, and embellish, then there is nothing left for you to break. Because pain doesn't hurt when it's asked for. When you decide how long it lasts for. When you decide what marks are passed, or what names, what scratches, what parts, what patches of my body I've given you permission to claim. I'm not saying that you don't treat me well. I'm just saying that after I would like to be held. Because I just did something monumental for you that at one point I thought that I couldn't. Because it was taken from me when I said that I wouldn't. But I have emerged like a phoenix from the ashes, a beautiful, proud, worthwhile whore. I do not care if it is a mattress, a table, the festival bookshop, or the floor. Because I am celebrating myself and my autonomy. I'm celebrating the fact that these decisions once again belong to me. I'm celebrating the guilt and shame that have since passed. I am celebrating by letting someone come in my... Never mind. Look, I will be whatever you need. Your daddy, dommy, degradee, your hog-tied, whore-tied, lock and key, your simple, savage, submissive slut, your freak of nature, feral mutt, your good girl, your bad boy, your polypansexual piss kink toy, your filthy fuck, cumbucket, masochist, piece of shit player, primal polygamist, your animal enraged, monster encaged, staged for all to see, exhibitionist, voyeur, your incompetent intern, your demanding employer, your demon, daydream, creature of the night, your love, your heart, your soul, your light, your pure spirit, your pure dirty bastard. I will be your everything as long as you kiss me after. Thank you.
RJ Hunter, everybody! Go and see the Stupid Sexy Poem Show. It's going to be fucking awesome. Guys, we move on to the second round. Are you all ready for the second round? Then let's not fuck about. We have on deck Heather Rose, but kicking us off. Put your hands together. Make some noise for Shane Strachan!
You have one new message. Message received 3rd of August, 1986. Hello there, sexy. Come on, you darling. No need to peek. I thought you Ailes were a tough breed, a kind of going into jungles and set up industries. Yet here you are greeting because of the flaming Saudis dropping the price of a barrel to $6 a piece. The high-rolling Middle East sheiks and bunker hunts in Texas hit the sense to take control of their assets. Ken how? They didn't bow down to an iron lady, kowtow like some little bitch. Go on, admit it. You Scots love to lay back and take it. Love to be subjugated, subpar, submissive, a subplot in others' master narratives. Did I nae shower you in gifts? Give you a taste of being rich? Aye, I'm nae the dictator here. Just look at what your companies have dictated to other countries afore you start with me. You want so desperately to be the JRUNO Aberdeen. But you're nae the only in climbing this pyramid scheme. Fishermen, bakers, candlestick makers are all roostabouts and roughnecks new, sicking after their ain fairy tale fortune. So, if you want to be the high heejin, the cock of the north in this region, take nae notice of them blimmin' former minor unionisers, cheesemen. It's a sair pleasure, this boom and bust, this sadomasochistic reward and risk bound up and gagged with threats of blacklisting. But keeping your dirty secrets gives you a wee kick, Ken. Doing the doon low, speaking your techno lingo about gushers and bloats, big bears and bean chokes, wellheads and shackle nuts, drill fingers and dry holes. Hey man, just keep the heat. You want power, sex and money? Then you'll hate to see all these tough times through. Otherwise, you can ging and gina back of the dole queue.
The thrustiest poet in town. On deck we have Donna Matthew, but please give a warm welcome as we welcome back to the stage, Heather Rowe!
There has been a murder! That scream, that thud, you heard her. It's the gay part of me, the queer part of me, the great clothes with rainbows that wholeheartedly were whole parts of me has been killed because I now have a boyfriend. The autopsy has currently reached no conclusion, but the chalk outline of my gay time is causing some confusion. That dusty white powder, politely plucked from clouds, or something else producing rain as chalky truths get washed away from all I'd drawn and built myself for. According to you, detective this or that, chief officer on this case, you tap your black pen thoughtfully, shine shoes are tightly laced. You roll unseeing eyes, this case an easy solve. You question whether current corpse ever lived at all. For if she's dead before my eyes, then she has chose desired side to be. It's just biology. They all pick one, that is just fact. Smirks, detective this or that. My pals mourn me at my wake, outsiders outing me as fake because queer and bi girls cannot enjoy kissing soft curves and more masculine, musky worlds without accusations. They unfurl their identities for one person. Like we are balls of string adorns the solving wall of detective this or that. He takes his coffee black, no sweetness. He wants to pick apart my pieces, and my piece cannot be bought by booking. He wants to solve me just by looking. Detective this or that's been cooking up a suspects list. Lead perpetrator he proposed is my own name, self-imposed. Clearly here the victim chose her man, her mate, her fate. My identity incriminates. It's easy to assimilate clues corroborating the killing of my pride. Well, if that's shot, then I'll list off all the other things that died, all the hiding, tried confiding, internal this or that deciding, my tongue biting, fear wave riding, being told to be grateful for just surviving, or hugs at pride. A rainbow of smiles, spotted on radar just by my style, reminders that queerness is more than just trial, and yet I'm on the stand. Black and white demands, claims that my killing was at my own hands, this or that, hidden or attacked, string ball unfurling or so tightly packed I am lost in that twine, dead or alive, girls or guys, binary such a blithering bore, entire planets live in those ores, cosmic sensations. I hear a stir beneath the earth. murdered part of me awakens, because it's never this or that detective. There was no murder, just lacked perspective and silencing sweethearts' subjective ways in which they love. Detective, retire your choosing aside. For this entire time, I have been alive.
Everybody! On deck we have Spencer Mason, but keep that applause going as we welcome back Donna Matthews!
My ego tells me stories all day, doesn't shut up, gets partway through one tale, then starts it again. Says, what do you think you're up to, hen? You shouldn't be here. Get back in your box. People like you have no right to talk my ego. Tells me stories all day. Confident like, full of conviction that it's fucking right. Thinks I should listen, make myself small. If I don't bother trying, there's no chance I'll fall my ego. Tells me stories all day. Like my needs are minor, and men don't have feelings. Bottle it up, or you won't be appealing. Your dad didn't love you. It's your fault you left. Marry that man. He's the best you can get, my ego. Tells me stories all day, especially at work. It's a wily fox then, spilling its lies at my ballpoint pen. Why don't they listen? Why did he smirk? Because your ideas are crap, love, so shut the hell up, my ego. Tells me stories all day. Inspires me to numb. Chill the Prosecco. You'll be all right, hun. Because if you're busy drinking, life won't get you down. Finish that off. There's a bottle of wine, my ego. Tells me stories all day. When I write poetry, laughs at my metaphors, they're overused, tweet. You can't do this. Try as you might. Leave it to Iona Lee and look bloody right, my ego. Tells me stories all day. Thinks that it sees everyone's thoughts in relation to me. He thinks you're ugly. They think you're a cunt. Typical fodder for that we runt, my ego. Tells me stories all day, loud and proud, which is hilarious to me. Because that's what it tells me I shouldn't be. Thinks this is kind so I don't feel the pain, but I won't see the sun by avoiding the rain. See, my ego's told me stories for years, and it knew I was listening. It's been telling me the same thing since I was 7, but I'm not 7 now. So I think that it's time to tell it to fuck off in a poetic rhyme. Thank you.
On deck we have Emma Clare, but please put your hands together, raise the roof as we welcome back Spencer Mason!
I come from a city where men have opinions and women have gossip, where men have ideas and women have bodies, where women have vaginas but men want pussy, and I left 8 failed attempts to take my life. Darshan. The closest translation that I can pull from the Sanskrit to our skinny tongue is that your hands pull me from the bonds of another person's song. Place me in a tuning where only I know what strings to pluck, and you, perhaps, should I offer up the tonal map of my body. As a marionette to my madness, I consider this, how it would be to have your hands at my neck, nails scratching each midnight fret and night terror twang, toiling in the witching soundtrack of my insomnia jazz, until at last you settle upon a major key, brooding in chance, and turn it 3 times anti-clockwise. It is my own blood which she pours in my ear, and in it is the dreich drum of neoliberalism and the mellow organ of urban monotony. Birdsong struggles to bounce off these surging grey monoliths we call progress, and we are so deaf to the bombs we think our digital shrieks more pressing. So how to tame your madness in a world that parallels psychosis and savagery? Inward, she says, inward. There is silence beneath the roaring waves that you've but braved. The depths and their blackness. Stop swimming, stop swimming. You will not drown, but see how seamlessly you live upon waves so fine. I will not be a coin in the confessionary economy. I will let light and I and the he and she that dance in me form dawns in the horizon. fiction, fusing Odysseus' journey with a vampiric lust. I will stand as the tenacity of Hydra and be the downfall of stray men. Why should I believe in one God when all stories eventually hold true? For if facts are made of repeated experience, then this body of mine holds more potency for speculative fiction or poetry than the linear narrative that this reality places upon it. Oh, my love, she says, you are not in control. You are alone. Making solitude of your dreams is no way to bring them to fruition, just as working with no vision makes stagnancy of every decision, and an interest in change means nothing if that interest is not committed. Oppenheimer flirted with the sempiternal. Einstein found Shiva in the matter which he dealt. So how do I make laconic the mind of counting myself as a star in the same cosmos which their descendants condemned? How do I place myself in a land of no division between myth, magic, and materialism? Only as myself. Only as myself.
Everybody. We have Aditya on deck, but our penultimate poet in the second round. Raise the roof for Emma Claire Briley!
The telling of time is not as linear as you think. Like a digital blink, ticking on the brink of talking while clocking in a metronome arrangement of hands over faces on wrists that persist and insist on staying in time. Red lights change ETAs. Bad weather stretches days. Last night's curry brings this morning's delays. So, let's all feel about time. Inhale. And hold till you're told you've broken the mold of the old world you were born into. Keep it in to the brim and keep waiting on him to say or stay or go away or finally have the whim that would show you it would be better to swim with those other fish in the sea than to grow dim here. Don't let go, even though you know the pain burns slow and the illness will show them absolutely no remorse or care or kindness or shelter the blow upon blow of a body shutting down, yet not yet gone, yet still so close to death. Now release your breath or catch it or both and feel that spiral, that sideways tilt, that lopsided lilt that comes with waiting that cannot be counted. The time it takes for a heart to wake, then a heart to break, then a heart to ache until it doesn't, is not time going forward with turning pages or neat little X's in well-ordered boxes. The time between sharing a space with someone you love, the then until now, can exist as forever and no time at all. When you are needing the call to save your life or change your life or keep your life exactly the safe way you know it, a ticking clock changes pace, though our brains know it doesn't. So, instead of straight lines to order your time, I hope you reach out and fill your heart to the seams, pack your lungs with your dreams, and bend all that time to your will.
Everybody! We have one final slammer in the second round. Please give all the love as we welcome back to the stage, Aditya!
Running out. There's a constant movement to running out, a sense of being flung past a union beyond what is allowed. Like an airplane that runs out of runway when it takes to the skies, or the runway that runs out of concrete when it takes to the ground, or the ground that runs out of soil when it takes to a river, or the river that runs out of people when it, well, runs out. My home is no stranger to running out. And there's a certain danger to running out. You see, for me, running out is desperation. It's my grandfather's mind running out of books to read as his eyes ran out of vision. Running out is depletion. It's the wringing dry of an ice cream tub with your little sister on vacation when you've just run out of a relationship and your heart is bare. Running out is care. Grandma's filter coffee in the air. Thanks to bitterness, running out of coffee beans, warming the farthest corners of my mornings. It's grandma herself never running out of people to feed. My friends, her friends, I knew her as a girl, friends, high friends, low friends. She once said, hello, friends. The alchemy of a kettle drawing a family to settle in orbit around its shrillness. Running out is stillness and illness. The breath hitching, the heart catching in the throat of a woman who ran out of time and a house that ran out of home. My home is no stranger to running out. And there's a certain movement to running out, like a family that moved homes every 3 years. No evicting landlords or horrific gang wars, just a dad wanting to do his best job at raising kids who never ran out of his money. His love. And money is a form of love until you have enough to not run out of it. Running out wasn't new to me. Windows ran out of familiar sills and familiar hills, walls of familiar pain, skies of familiar rain, birds of familiar song that belonged to a childhood that ran out of one city straight into another. Running out wasn't new to me. In fact, it grew on me, brought things that were ending into closer view for me. Running out of school and then out of school friends, making new friends, the cool friends. This time I will leave you, friends. Running out wasn't new to me. So when 3 years ago my country suddenly flew from me, I didn't allow myself to find home because I wasn't convinced I'd run out of anything new. I wasn't convinced I felt empty here. You see, it took me 20 years to decide home wasn't out there, it lived inside. But the day I left the place where I thought it wasn't, something still died. So where was it? I don't know. And when I don't know something, I compare it with other things so it can have somebody to play with, because running out is a loneliness you don't get away with. And maybe a metaphor is just a question that's run out of an answer, so I make sure I never run out of metaphors for home. Here's one. I wonder if home is like the runway beneath an airplane. Something that runs out when you move too far. Thank you.
And this is the part of the show where I apologize to the judges. Sorry. The judges are all like, yeah, no, I'd be happy to help right up until about now. They're like, fucking hell. So yes, guys, what a phenomenal second round. That was insane. Yeah. Just on sort of spoken word, if this is your first slam, if this is maybe the first sort of spoken word event you've attended, thank you for coming. But also just like spoken word is a sort of massively underrepresented part of the lit scene. So when you look at like the Fringe, for example, it's the smallest section, and most of that section is like politicians in conversation with. Who cares? I mean, we could all enjoy an hour laughing at Douglas Ross, but it's, not for the Fringe. He'll be gone soon, don't worry. But yes, it's so underrepresented, and a lot of the work we're doing, the reason we're doing this slam season is taken out of the Central Belt, going to where there are these amazing open mic scenes, where there are these other amazing festivals platforming incredible work. And the fact, like all of our partners that we've worked with this year took a punt and included spoken word in their programs. The fact that the Book Fest has done that, not just this year, but last year when they did the spoken word showcase the year before that I was kind of involved in, that means the world to us, because spoken word is such a wonderful art form. You get this range of voices, this range of styles and approaches, this range of subjects. Spoken word to me is one of the most diverse, amazing art forms. You can laugh, you can cry in like one poem's space, like, you know what I mean? You don't get that in a lot of other art forms. So if this is your first kind of look at it, please go and search out some more. Go and see RJ Hunter's show. Come and check out our show. We have a Best of Fringe show, which is all about showcasing other shows that are at the Fringe. If you are interested, we'll have mailing list sign-ups. You can sign up to our mailing list. We will point you to where you can find poetry near you. We know a bunch of the UK scene. If you're not from Edinburgh local, we can still point you to where your local spoken word night is. Please do go and seek it out. If there isn't a night near you, good thing we got a YouTube channel. So this slam will be going up for free on our YouTube channel. You can go back and watch all of the heats where these guys have qualified and see all the people that they beat. You can go and check out last year's slam series and the final. You can check out hundreds of videos of poets who you will not see published work from, who are live performance poets. We are building this archive of work. We have workshops, podcasts, all of that stuff to try and make spoken word more accessible, to try and bring more people into the tent, because we don't always have a beautiful literal tent with hundreds of you here. So please do go and search it out. If you're interested in our show, we've got 2 more dates, the 16th and 17th of August at the Scottish Storytelling Centre. Best of Fringe, come along and check it out. I'll do a wee poem while we're talking up maths. Cool, kill my moment. So a poem, yeah. It's my favorite bit of the slam series. Watching poets go, no! Okay, so our 3 final poets who will be reading in this order. You can do a cheer after each one. Okay, first up will be Aditya! Followed by Emma Claire Brightland! And rounding us off will be Heather Rose! Again, I guarantee it is fractions of points. Like, that is such a horrible round to try and judge. Can we please get a huge, huge round of applause for all of our poets? Final round. Let's fucking do this. Guys, we have 3 poets. I know it's been a long afternoon. I know it's hot in this tent, but I want you to give them every last ounce of love and support. Are you guys up for that? Then let's fucking do this. Raise the roof and welcome back Aditya!
Thank you. What happens in reverse time? My flu appointment is scheduled for yesterday due to a fever I will contract next week. The hernia sleeping in mom's stomach has reconnected itself, and grandma has knit me 20 separs apart after she awoke from the funeral pyre. I'm listening to Hotel California, which begins with a fade-in and ends on a haunting guitar melody. Servers are walking towards cafe seats carrying empty cups that I refill with flat whites. Then I take money, get tipped, and leave. What happens in reverse time? Benjamin Button doesn't remain a curious case, and Christopher Nolan gets famous for writing stories 4 words. Hair growth is the primary problem plaguing middle-aged self-worth, and married couples love until birth does them part. The ones who don't, although wounded, get newly mended hearts. Dusks softly bleed into dawns. Winters cross over into Octobers. There is an entire season called Rise. What happens in reverse time? Britain mends barriers with its Brentry into Europe, and the British Museum empties its contents onto the globe. Riots. Riots involve giving life, unsealing tombs, and guns swallow bullets out of healing wounds. Smiles are commonplace. They're common ways to keep your mouth. And people stare like something's wrong when you walk with a frown. You draw tears from the ground like dew from the soil, and the news gives you updates on how many people smiled. Everyone remembers their last love and waits for their first. Age brings you hope. Youth brings experience, seas, water, skies. What happens in reverse time? Fortune tellers become historians, reading the past like a book, and archaeologists are explorers, assembling the truth of a world that hurls itself at beginnings like ends, and motivational speakers still like to pretend you can quit your job before you get too young. You admit you can't because you're one among every hustler who busts it every Monday after Monday after Monday after Monday after Monday. Countless Mondays rotate the earth westward. The years lose digits, but you don't call it a countdown. And Krishna awakes with an arrow coming out of his foot. Buildings crash and build. Coffee gets hotter by the minute. Beards shrink if undisturbed. Flowers die at their youngest. There is world peace. Might have gotten carried away there. The universe begins with bleak, dark iron balls floating in midair and ends on a spectacular collapse of matter and energy. What happens in reverse time? You begin a poem. Thank you.
Our second poet in the final round. Keep that applause building. Go crazy. Kevin Mclean,
I think she may be trying to kill me. This dragon in the shape of a girl my body birthed and gave to this world. I think she wants my heart to stop by seeing her take off like a shot in the parking lot of Aldi. Or by hearing her maniacal giggle that tells me she's wiggled herself high enough and over enough and close enough to the counter where we keep the very exciting scissors, ideally away from her, and now she can run through the house with them. Or by catching her climbing herself to standing on the seat of the horrendously unused exercise bike that we, her father and I, nearly came to blows over because I knew he wouldn't use it and totally knew she'd climb it, and now she has to the top of it and might fall off. Or jump, because I think she's trying to kill me. This mythical beast I've unleashed on this realm. I think she wants my heart to give out from lack of rest, because despite my best efforts and intentions to make a cozy nest for her to sleep in, she must be next to me, rendering sleep impossible. Only possibilities are mummy up, as in up all night, holding and rocking and walking and pacing and spacing, or mummy bed, with the misguided thought of being horizontal, with a standard head-on pillow, body below, but she insists on being perpendicular with feet lodged in rib or bladder or throat, or the working title on face. She just wants to sleep directly on my face, suffocating me or ending my life with the psychological torture of never being able to sleep. And then, sometimes then, I marvel how she hasn't killed me. This magical ball of glitter I dreamed into my life, how my heart hasn't actually burst from my absolute love for her as she crawls off my face and curls into my curves and for a moment is perfectly still. How she finds me for ahs and huzzahs each time she learns a new skill. How her face beams with delight as she invites strangers to dance with her, and they dance with her, and her joy is contagious. How my pride and my wonder and her sweetness and perfection are entirely outrageous. How her smudging consonants and gliding vowels create the sounds that I know without a doubt mean, Mummy, I love you. And despite her attempts at my imminent destruction, I am left with the unwielding conviction to declare I will never die. I will be there, prepared to catch her or run after her or cradle or tuck or snuggle next to her. And if I should fail, I will be there to wipe the tears and hold the fears that ever come for her until I can't. And still, till then, I'll plant my heel so firmly, she'll know I'm not going without a fight. Thank you.
Everybody. We have reached the final poet in the final round. I want you to give every last bit of energy and love you have. And welcome to the stage, Heather Rowe!
Maybe I wasn't meant to cook. It seems every time I try, cutting onions cry, oiled the pan and fried, plated please the eye, I seem to only find that when I slice inside, it never turns out right. Maybe I wasn't meant to cook. Some don't have that drive. Microwaves maintain, survive. 4-minute meals keep them alive. The knives and pots and pans and woks they stock. The cupboards, idle last they were thrust. A graveyard of my giving up, mummified, collecting dust, unsatisfied. I say I must not forget the taste, or let those years I cooked for you decompose food waste. But maybe I wasn't meant to cook. Despite that chefing history, there's no mystery, no stove injury, that's blistery, it's just me. Too picky. Each time I put my cooking hand in, there are no customers demanding, sous chef pandering, bills outstanding, servers floundering in my kitchen. They're all missing. It's me who's messing with my meals. Maybe I wasn't meant to cook. Maybe I was made for late night orders. Quickly eat, don't need to talk or stock our fridges as veg hoarders. Dance the meal/snack food border and wonder if I no longer seek sustenance, for I trust in this obvious insatiability. But I am human, and I need to eat, and I thought I could survive on little sweet treats, and chocolate is nice on that rarer occurrence, but the rate I'm having it is hurting my stomach, and crisps are not as filling as a whole roast meal is, but crisps won't ask you what our deal is. Crisps won't catch feelings. Maybe I wasn't meant to cook, because the taste is so faint in my memory. Do you remember we were cooking melodies you cannot write in recipes? I cannot compare snacks to symphonies. Maybe I wasn't meant to cook. Maybe I was meant for ready meals from the store, or maybe I'm not a bad chef, but I just wasn't your one. And that's a harder bite to swallow, but my hunger can no longer wait until tomorrow. I have so many meals I want to share. Culinary skills can be cooked and repaired, taste buds all differing to recipes prepared. I cleared my cupboards completely bare. No dust or crumbs can trace you there. I'm a bad chef, sure, and yet I care with such edible imagination. I incite nonsensical love, starvation. Maybe I wasn't meant to cook for you, but I'm turning on my heat. New recipe book in my hand, and I am ready to eat.
Fuck. What a final round, guys. Give it up for the Slammers. Guys, if after the slam you've got a second, go up and tell a poet you like their stuff. These guys are absolutely amazing. Like, all 3 rounds have been just exceptional, and I know how much work all these people put in, both for their heats and then getting here. People have come from far and wide to be here for today. So please, if you did enjoy someone's stuff, go up and tell them. Find out where you can find more of their stuff. Find out where you can buy a book or sign up to their mailing list or whatever. It means the world. And like, word of mouth. Tell people you saw some fucking amazing poets. Put out a tweet, something like that. It means the world. People will take your recommendation. I've spent 10 years on the mile trying to get people to go to poetry shows. You will find it much easier. So yeah, please do that if you enjoyed. I'm out of words. I'm just going to do a poem because I don't know what to say. Love poem, why not? I want to be a mountain so that you and I can stand side by side and make valleys together. I want to be the East Coast of America so you can be the West. And when separation puts our love to the test, a nation will build railroads for us. I want to be the sun so you can be the moon. And when we align, the whole world will look up, but it'll be so dark, only we can see what we're doing. I want to be Adam and Eve before the shame of fig leaves, so we can be the first to experience kiss and touch and love and lust. I want to be Batman. So you can be Wonder Woman and we can make fun of Aquaman together. I guess what I'm trying to say is, I want you. And I want you to want me too. I want to swim in your eyes, not because they're blue, but because they have unexplored depths, and I want to dive to the bottom of you. I want you to be my first kiss. I want you to make up for all of the drunken ones I've missed, because I honestly can't think of a drink I want to taste more than your lips. I want to be every blade of grass. So when at last the sun begins to rise, I know you'll be holding me like morning dew, I guess. What I'm trying to say is, I want you. And I want you to know, I don't say this with ease. I was ready to swear off love for good until you swept in like an ocean breeze and blew my line in the sand back into beach again. And I've wanted to tell you this 1,000,000 times before. But instead, I write love poems. And I don't want to have to write them anymore. Rosie, would you like to come join me on stage? Give it up for RJ Hunter. In a literal passing of the torch, Rosie is going to give the title to the new champion. Guys, this has been an absolutely amazing slam. Any of you could have won and would have been an exemplary champion. I am just going to read out the winner because that's the one that gets the belt and the money. Please, all three finalists know that you were incredible. Guys, can I get a drum roll, please? Your 2024 Loud Poets Grand Slam champion is Emma Claire Bryland! Give it up for Emma Claire, make some fucking noise! Guys, we're going to let Emma collect herself for a second, but she is going to give us a little victory lap poem. Can we get one more round of applause for all of our finalists, all of our slammers, for the whole thing? Guys, make some noise for the fucking champ!
For as much as I've talked shit about her, this is a love poem for my kid. You'd been here for 2 days. 2 collections of hours where there had been some sleeping, some waking, some feeding, some getting to know each other in this world. 2 days when I learned, I realized, I found I already knew that I could kiss you as much as I wanted. Absolutely as much as I wanted. It was acceptable, encouraged, in fact, societally, emotionally, even medically, as my kisses allowed me to absorb the microbes on your face, to turn into the magic in my body, to become the milk in my breasts that you were happily gobbling up. Oh, I could gobble you up. Inhale all of your perfect sweetness, all of your infinite possibility, all of your seemingly endless need for me and just us and just love, and I could kiss you as much as I wanted. Not too much, not too close, not beyond appropriate levels as with someone else's baby. Not overly annoyingly, like that first high school date. Not more often than required, like the discarded relationships with failed lovers who made me feel like I kissed them too much. I could kiss you as much as I wanted. And I did. And I have. And I do. And only now are you starting to scramble or scrunch or occasionally scratch yourself out of it. Something to do, somewhere to go, something to show me. The gift is that now you can kiss me too. And Daddy, and Poppy, and Boily Bear, and your fish book, and the red boots, and those rocks you found. Please don't put that in your mouth. With your gorgeous face, you tilt upward, lean in, and present your lips, still learning how to pucker. Oh, my girl, you can kiss me as much as you want. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You want to hold the belt up one more time? Look at this guy. You got a good one for him. He's got it there. Give it up for him. Guys, thank you so much for coming along. This is like a huge thing for us. Like I said, this is 6 months. The whole first half of this year has been doing these heats. A huge chunk of last year putting on these events is a massive thing for us. We're looking to do it again next year. We're going to be expanding these slams, doing even more, trying to give more platforms, more opportunities for poets to do this, because it's a bit fucking spectacular. So yeah, if you take one thing away, please do go and check out some poetry where you are. Come and show some love to the poets. I know they will be milling around. The Book Fest is on. This is the first day of the Book Fest. We are kicking off. There is so much spectacular poetry at the Book Fest. I know Poet for People is later on, and what a fucking lineup they have. Selena Godin and Vanessa Kasuli and Iona Lee and Michael Mullen, a whole host of folk. Go and check it out. Go and find some awesome poetry where you are. I just want to say, for me, a huge thank you to the rest of the Loud Poets team. Katie, give a shout out for Katie Ailes. Judge / photographer / contract holder / everything. A massive shout out to my brother Mark Galley. And Bex Bidgood, who isn't with us today, but is a core part of the team. Last year we had funding for the Slam series, and we didn't this year. And it's been very fucking hard to do. So I wanted to give a shout out to the guys who have managed to make it work anyway. And a huge thank you to our partners who helped us out when we didn't get that funding. Huge shout out to Aberdeen Performing Arts, to Dumfries and Galloway Arts Festival, to Paisley Book Festival, to Stanza's Scotland's International Poetry Festival, to the Bike Shed in Inverness, to the Scottish Storytelling Centre. They literally made it possible for us to do this, and the EIBF made some good decisions and made this possible, so thank you so much to them. Can we just, one more time, all the poets, make some fucking noise? I have been Kevin Mclean. You guys have been fucking awesome. We will see you again next time. Good night.